Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode.
Yay, we're happy to have you.
You already
we see
know.
some new faces.
Okay, you already know what we're here for. We already know why we're here. And we thank you so much for joining us, okay? To the new faces, like you're saying, this is the only place to be at. To the continued viewers, we thank you for tuning in again. We drop content like this every single Mondays, okay? So shout out to y'all. And thank you for bringing in a friend. So today, before we even dive in, like I said, go ahead and like and subscribe. Okay, hit the bell. But today, we want to talk about energy, but particularly what type of energy, right? Because this universe, this world that we live in is made of energy, but there's so many different types. I know a few months ago, we talked about, playful energy. This time we're here to talk about Kundalini energy.
Yes. Kundalini. What is it? Why is everybody talking about it? What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Okay. Especially for some of us who aren't really into yoga like that, or into something that might lead to being able to practice Kundalini.
Yeah.
So today we're going to share some information to bring you awareness about what Kundalini is and why it's very important to you. Okay, so if you didn't know about it, you're welcome.
Now you know some basic knowledge, right?
Yes. So what is it? What is Kundalini energy?
Yeah, so I guess a simple form, right? In Hinduism, Kundalini is a form of divine feminine energy, or known as the Shakti.
Yes.
Okay, and so it is believed to be dormant and rested at the very bottom of our spine chakra, the root chakra.
Yes.
So this dormant energy is just in everybody.
Yes.
Everybody got it, right?
Yes. We all got it. Now, what happened? The moon is in your sun, your zodiac sign, your sun sign. You get your cup filled. It's referred to as milk and honey, but it's this liquid that, they say it comes from the sun, and your cup gets filled with this liquid energy. It's very powerful, okay?
Yeah.
So it'll go down your spinal fluid and sit at the base, right? And Kundalini is a practice that is used to raise that energy. It's also a spinal fluid.
Yeah.
Raise it up so that it can go back up to your third eye.
Your third eye.
Your pineal gland.
Yeah.
So that it can activate your Kundalini energy.
Exactly. Your Christ-like consciousness.
Yes.
And that's what the Bible was talking about all along. You guys are very welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there are many different, metaphors in the Bible that are referring to Kundalini.
Yes.
And one of the examples was, Moses' famous staff.
Yep.
If, you'll see in the Bible that the staff had a snake wrapped around it, because the snake is representative for this feminine energy, this
Shakti.
Kundalini, okay?
Yes.
And you're supposed to wrap the energy up around your spine all the way up to the top, right?
Yeah.
Which is essentially what the snakes were doing to his staff.
Exactly, on the staff, like visual representation. And mind you, this visual representation is everywhere. If you're looking at a board of medicine, anything that has to do with pharmacology or things with medicine, they have the staff and they have a snake wrapped around it.
Yes, because it's healing energy. It's it's very powerful, okay? So that should just kind of like help give you an idea of what Kundalini energy is, okay?
Powerful,
and some other
energy.
Yes. So what is it like, to be Kundalini activated? Like what does that feel like in the body?
Yeah.
Because there are going to be some good or bad experiences.
Yeah.
Depending on
your state of being.
Yes.
Where you're at with your journey, yourself.
Where you're at and the actual practice itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are some good things that can happen?
Well, I guess this is where you would make your notes and be like, oh, what's good and what's bad, right? Because the good thing is your life will be fucked up. Will we say that's a bad thing too? Sure. But
it won't be fucked up. Okay, you're scaring people from Kundalini. It will definitely turn your life around.
Yes.
That's for sure. You will not see things the way you used to see things anymore.
Yeah.
You might lose interest in a lot of the things that you found interesting. Your likes, dislikes, all that might change. Your view of life is going to change.
You're right down to the bottom of like your actual taste buds.
Yes.
Like you will taste certain food different. I remember I was like, my taste bud was like, well, I didn't really like this or that, but now I'm like, ooh, I want more leafy, more green, more vegetables, more and less of a taste for the unhealthier type of food.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Because the higher consciousness, you know, what's going to happen is you learn a little bit more. You're more conscious about everything, okay? Yeah. About why it's important to eat certain things, about why it's important to keep a healthy body, about why it's important to, you know, take care of the planet, for example. Those are all things that may change in you, you know?
Yes.
You know, there's also some bad side effects as well.
True.
But in my opinion, I feel like the good outweighs the bad, long as you were cautious and you just follow the directions.
And, you know, I feel like polarity exists in terms of balance. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, the good outweighs the bad, but you might be suffering severely from these side effects because, well, let's face it, you may not be ready to be where you're at to go through these things. Because I always say, you know, we're giving these things as much as you can handle it, right? Yeah. Like, so some of the bad, you know, side effects could be intensified, unresolved, like psychological trauma. Well, because now you are in this new state of being, right? You pulled up your energy up to your third eye chakra, which is the all-seeing eye. Now, if you're not working on those traumas, your third eye can now kind of like almost keep you trapped in that loop where you're replaying it over, because your third eye is very powerful. You know, it has the ability to manifest things and make it 3D. So very physical. So it's kind of like if you are not past your trauma and you have this Kundalini awakening, you could very much keep playing that trauma over and over and really much bring that real stress to your body, giving yourself a dis-ease all over again, just through that aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Another side effect, you know, could be and I would say like it's an extension of like a lot of people. I was reading a lot of people's feedback on this, and they said that they couldn't keep their jobs. You know, and part of the reason for that is because they lost interest, or like there will be an awakening inside of you that will be like, oh, that job you're doing is not what you're meant to do, or it's causing this pain, or it's doing this to you. Like there becomes so much awareness that you start to question every single thing that you do in your life, you know? Another one would probably be like, you know, fear of death, insanity, and things like that. So Kundalini, when you're doing the practice, you are exposed to different things you haven't seen before. Images might flash in your third eye mind, okay?
All interdimensional things you may be seeing.
Yes. And so sometimes what may come up may be a little fearful. And if you're not ready or prepared, you might lose your mind. You know, like you might really lose your mind and lose your sense of, you know, reality and things like that, because it is real when you step into those other realms. So you need that sense of peace, that inner balance to be able to tell, all right, this is where I am, or this is where I'm not.
Yeah.
Because you will go for a trip.
Okay. You need to be grounded here. So, you know, to add on to that, overwhelming mood swings, you know, because you are now, like I said, in this new state of emotional being as well, because up until now, you know, if you have your Kundalini activated, you didn't know what it was like to be fully present in the body. So you may now be experiencing mood swings because now it's like a new body per se, a new emotional state of being, and now you have to kind of like recenter and know how to balance it, especially when it gets confusing with, you know, you're now a lot more hypersensitive because it comes with that aspect. Now you're a lot of more people's mood swings, you know, people's energies. You're very much more likely very sensitive to that now.
Yes. Yes. And to add on to the high insensitivity towards other people. It's also a lot of the other things too, like the foods that we eat, the clothes that we wear.
Yes.
It activates physically certain parts in our bodies that initiates healing, for example. So there are lots of chemicals that we're consuming already that we're so used to that we don't see how it's harming us.
Yeah.
But the minute our Kundalini is activated, you feel it right away. Kind of like piggybacking off of that prior video we just did regarding the effects of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and things like that. You know, your Kundalini is activated, you're especially going to feel the pain of what that's causing to your body. Being exposed to these chemicals, being exposed to these certain things in our environment.
Yeah.
So there's definitely greats, you know, that happens when you activate your Kundalini, but it also is a double-edged sword because then you notice everything else that has been going on as well.
Okay, it really is. With great power comes with great responsibility.
Yeah, really.
And you know, not the, you know, the crown is heavy for those who choose to wear it type of mentality. So if you are on this journey of, you know, being curious about Kundalini energy, which I think, you know, everyone should be.
Everyone should.
Yeah.
At least try it once.
Yeah.
But the only thing is we recommend that you do it with a practitioner.
Definitely someone who is very well versed in Kundalini energy, and what the proper, like you're saying, procedures are, because
for real.
You don't want to do it in a space where you think you're alone or whatnot, and you
can't talk yourself out of the stuff you're experiencing. You know, you might get schizophrenic, like you might really start to get delirious. And just lose your shit. So you might as well just do it with a practitioner. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because we're talking about this like it's a drug, like it's a shroom or something. You might trip when you take it, but all it is literally is yoga.
Yeah, exactly. It's a practice, like meditation or yoga.
Isn't that crazy? So like, that's why I don't know, I get really intrigued by this because I'm like, all right, because the feelings, and there's a moment in it, you do get that high feeling where you feel like you're floating, and all you're doing is breathing exercises, circular motions, and just slow movements, fast and precise breathing.
Right. Kundalini yoga, like you were saying, we do recommend you at least stepping into it, because the whole precision of the breathing makes it different. The breath of fire makes it different from other type of yoga. It really grounds you in your body. And the chanting, I love that because it keeps you very present.
Yes.
And it connects you. Yeah, it connects you because it's a language of the gods. So you're also communicating with God when you're chanting.
Absolutely. And this is something that while you're doing, you feel the energy, you feel the difference in your body. So it's not like you're making it up, where you're sitting down, we're like, oh, imagine that you're feeling. No, you actually do feel the energy centers in your body being activated. And for me, like, I would feel the electrical surges go up from the spine up straight to my head. And the minute it hits my pineal gland, boom, like I start seeing stuff. It is the most amazing experience ever. So really recommended, guys. Get out there and do your Kundalini. Okay. You know, change your life around. You know, for the better.
Get your Zen on. And if you're out there in the rut and you're going through some dark night of the soul, depression and whatnot, and you're really looking for something that's transformative, there is nothing more powerful than the Kundalini energy that will transform your life into a way that you deserve it or you want it to be.
Absolutely. So get to practicing, get to researching, look up your Kundalini coaches, and hit up those classes. You will not regret it, I promise you.
At all.
We should make one ourselves too.
Exactly, right? We'll keep y'all updated on that.
We'll keep you updated, But if you have any other comments regarding Kundalini, or if you have any other important facts you wanted to add, please go ahead, join the conversation.
Exactly.
And thank you for joining us.
Right. Go ahead and
wasn't that tea?
It was. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Hit the bell for your notification. We drop videos like this every single week.
Every week.
Okay, so guess what, y'all? We'll be back next week.
Ciao.
Bye.